Hello and welcome. Thanks for tuning in. A common problem within most networks is people not saving the running config. This will obviously cause problems after reboots or power outages when snippets of the configuration are gone. In today's video, we are going to use NetAPI to validate whether a running and startup config match on a particular device. We'll use a simple Python script to print the results out to the screen. First, let's look at the API endpoint we are using. Under the Scrapli tag, we will be using the nr Scrapli Genie host command API endpoint. As you can see, it takes the host and command parameters and returns a result. Okay, now let's run the script and see what happens. This script has a helper menu, so let's start with that. As you can see, the script tells us that it's going to validate the startup and running config differences on Cisco devices. It takes the host argument, which is the host that we want to query. It also takes a debug argument set to false by default. So let's run this script on an iOS device within my lab. The device that I'll be running it on is lab CSR01. Let's run the script. Okay, it's showing that there is no differences between the running config and the startup config. Okay, now we have a ninja who comes along and decides to add a route map, but not save it to the running config. So the ninja comes along and pastes this configuration in there. Let's run the script again now. Now we see that there's some configuration differences detected. As you can see, there's an additional route map added with a description and a match statement. This time, let's run the script again with the debug option. As you can see now, we have additional information printed to the screen. We have a API call, which is this line here, a response code, and the raw text. Okay, let's fix this issue by removing this unwanted route map. So we'll remove the Ninja route map. And let's run the script again. Okay, everything is back to normal. Let's have a quick look at the code and see what's happening. As with all the other examples, the code provided within the NetAPI tools repository has detailed comments on each line or each section of the code. It should be relatively simple to follow and look through and understand. The values which you will need to change relevant to your environment is the URL variable on line 48. And essentially what is happening here is we are making an API request and we are passing those responses. We are expecting a diff that exactly matches this. What this basically does is check that the diff is empty, and if the diff is empty, then that means there's no configuration differences between the running config and the startup config. However, if the diff is not empty, then iterate over the list and print it out to the screen. That concludes today's video. In today's video, we use Scrapli and Genie powered by NetAPI to detect configuration differences between the running and startup configurations. There are hundreds more Genie passes which could be used to build your own checks. This script and others can be found at the NetAPI Tools repository, where a list of examples have been made to spark your imagination for your needs. You're always more than welcome to contribute to this repo. Thanks for taking the time to learn about NetAPI, and I hope that this video has been useful. Bye for now.